kids that didn't belong in places with other kids. And I'm so incredibly lucky that there are places. I mean, I'd like to give that place a shout out. It's called Soulbury School. And I'd like to give another place a shout out. It's called Neshaminy. And Neshaminy was a school that I did not belong in. And I let them know that. And they let me know that. And thank goodness there was a place out by New Hope, Pennsylvania called Soulbury School that took your son in. He took me in. And as we had spoken about a little bit before we got on the stage, I think there's such a fun. I forget the initial question, but I'm just going to go.
That's all right.
There's a fine line, I think, in life between finding your way and being supported. And we're all intelligent in different ways, and we're all dumb in different ways. And if that doesn't make us more kind and compassionate to one another, I don't know what will. Sometimes it doesn't seem like it's doing the trick, but I wish it would more. And I was fortunate enough to go there, and where I was being sent to the principal's office. And my mother, who raised my brother and I on her own, would often get called to come and pick her sweet little Sean Langhorne son up. Soulbury was still doing that for a little while, but it was less, and it grew less and less. And then I had some teachers there that said, "No, you're not bad. You're not dumb. You're just a pain in the ass. But you're also creative and you're intelligent." And they fed me, and I'm forever thankful for that.
And there was a teacher that, just a little digression here, who my son and you knew a guy named Tom. We can't remember his last name, but he's the one that saw Langhorne Slim, saw his potential, and brought him over to record in our barn.
That is accurate. I went from like worst to, I won't say best because that would sound arrogant. I'm a humble man. I went from bad to perceived as good because my grades really shot up, and I started being active in the school, and you got rewarded for my senior project. Instead of doing something that I would have been awful at doing and probably received a terrible grade, I was able to record my very first album, which was like a basement demo thing on a 4-track, and then I was gifted that as a good for you kid. But you asked me how I got my name Langhorne.
Well, I did, but that's okay.
I know the answer to that too. How much time do you have?
Is there a short? We have apparently 4 hours here, but is there a short version?
The short version is, I fell in love when I was, 12, 13. I haven't been paying attention to what age I was and what age. Anyway, when I was quite young, I fell in love with old blues music and old folk music and old country music. And as you guys, I'm sure, know, in a lot of old blues music, there are these Slims. There's Memphis Slim. And there, it goes sort of on and on. And I thought when I was leaving Langhorne, Pennsylvania, that in the great tradition of these incredible rural African-American artists, that this white Jewish boy, and I'm not the first one to do it, by the way, would take the name Langhorne, tack on Slim, and then I went to New York with that name, and I started playing, well, first at Tin Angel here in Philly, and then in quite a few other spots, and then out to New York, and I would play these open mics as Langhorne, and to my, I don't know if it was to my surprise, whatever happened, it just stuck, and people that got to know me through that would just call me Langhorne or Slim, and I kind of liked it. I always really like nicknames because there's something old and romantic about them. And I heard a lot about these nicknames from my grandparents growing up.
Your mom got you your first guitar, is that right?
We had, my mom got a guitar from a coworker, and it wasn't even beaten up, it just wasn't workable. I had asked her if she would fix it up, and she was cool enough to do that. And I think like most of the things that I was sort of trying to get into and not sticking to, there might have, I don't know if was there any hesitation?
Never. Where's
right
mom,
answer. There's my mom right there,
mom?
My grandmother. And she fixed that old guitar up, and it was the one thing that as soon as I learned, and it's what makes country music so powerful, especially the good kind of country music. I don't know who had the rebuttal about the bro country music, but that stuff is no good. Potentially debatable, I don't know.
It's an opinion, but it's also a fact.
Yeah, these are facts to us. Whatever moves us is you know, I have nothing but respect for everybody that does this thing. Marty, help me out. Where were we going?
Now I'm entirely lost. I would actually love to have you do another song.
That's probably
One of your own songs.